What's up guys? Right now I'm about to head out to my grandparents' house where I've been storing the Eclipse and pick it up so I can finally do the exhaust clip video that I've been promising you guys. We haven't done it any sooner than this because the car didn't have working radiator fans and I didn't want to rev bomb it without the car being warm, but then when the car gets warm and you sit still and you rev it, it gets too hot. Just an issue, didn't want to deal with it, didn't want to risk blowing head gasket from overheating it or anything. But now it does have radiator fans, so we can go ahead and do the exhaust clip video. Also, the car's got a little bit of an ECU issue, which is the reason why it's not even here right now, and the reason why I'm not actually driving it, which I will get into in a later video coming out very soon. So let's go get the car, and I'll show you guys the exhaust setup real quick, just to give you guys a refresher, or in case you haven't seen my other videos. And then we'll go and have a little bit of fun. I'm going to be doing like just the typical sitting still and revving it, and I also have the suction cup mount for the GoPro that hopefully I can hook up to the rear bumper and do a few pulls. I'm going to hook it directly to the rear bumper, so hopefully the wind noise isn't too terrible. I did a video with this car actually a while back just to test that thing out. It was just like morning pulls or something in the Gulf, and it worked really well. It held on to the car just fine. I wanted to run it on the side of the car because I was afraid because at least there, if it flew off, I'd be able to see it fly off or hear it or something. And it held up well. The only issue I had was wind noise, so hopefully with it being on the rear bumper we won't get a lot of wind noise, but I also have to be careful how close I put the GoPro up to the exhaust because it's really loud and it might cause issues with the mic, so we'll see. So let's go pick the car up, and then it should be plenty warmed up by the time I get back here to do the exhaust. This car always looks so happy to see me every time I come to pick it up. It's so funny. Alright, we're at my exhaust testing place. Hopefully you can hear me at least a little bit, because like I said, this car's loud. It has a high idle, amongst other issues, which I'll get into in a later video. I'm at my favorite exhaust testing place. This is an abandoned quality pasta products factory that they don't use. Figure since it's an industrial area of town, I can make noise and not bother anybody's day. There's one house all the way over there, but oh well. So it's just eBay header running to an eBay mid-pipe, I guess you would call it. Not much to look at really. And then the eBay mid-pipe was modified to delete the catalytic converter right there. And then it just runs all the way back to a little tiny resonator. And then it's 2.5-inch exhaust all the way out the back to this 3-inch tip that I have since added after the exhaust video. It's just welded on. Actually, it's an AutoZone tip that you can buy it for like 10 bucks or whatever, but I actually made it weld on right there and clamped it, so I was hoping it would eliminate some of the drone, but it really didn't. But it does look better than just plain pipe sticking out the back. So, and all that fuming stuff is fuel coming out of the exhaust, so I know it's not a blown head gasket. Like I said, I'll get into what the issue is there later. So you're going to see a lot of blue smoke coming out of it when I'm revving it. It's unburnt fuel because of the many issues this car has. So I'm going to set you up, and we're going to rev it a few times, and then I'm going to hook this thing up to the bumper and get some pulls. was the exhaust on the Eclipse. I am sitting back in the Golf again because there's no way in hell I'm going to try to drive that thing around the place. It tried to shut off twice on the way to the spot. Tried to shut off while I was coming out of the parking lot, which I'm going to include that on the video because I got it on video twice when I did it. So maybe somebody can help me out, but I'm 99% sure it's an ECU issue. The biggest issue with it when it does this is it'll shut the ignition off and leave the fuel injectors wide open. It'll just die. If you're in neutral, it'll just die and you lose power brakes, which is a big problem. I've tried everything to try and fix it. Nothing has solved it. It shuts the ignition off but leaves the injectors open. No sensor or plug or anything could cause that issue, because if the ignition shuts off, the injectors should shut off with them, and that's not what's happening. So I'm going to include those clips where it tried to shut off. Maybe somebody can tell me what's going on or help me, or maybe you've had the same issue and maybe I can help you out. I'm pretty sure it's an ECU problem. Anyway, like I said, that was the exhaust. Everybody's wanted to hear it. Now you know why I haven't been able to make a video on it in a while, because the car wants to shut off and didn't have fans and all that nonsense. And yeah, alright, so make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. Also go check out 802 Garage, see what he's up to. I believe right now he's working on getting his transmission pulled out so he can fix his starting issue. So that's gonna be it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. You little slut.